You mentioned the Dhvaja Sthambam. So what is the purpose of having a Dhvaja Sthambam in a temple?
Yeah, Dhvaja Sthambam, we have a beautiful story related to it. I'll just very quickly run through the story. Uh, in Mahabharata, in Ashwamedha Parva, we have a story of a great king called as Mayura Dvaja. So how does that story go? The story goes like this. After the Mahabharata war, now it is time for Yudhishthir or the Pandavas to do Ashwamedha Yaga. Now, by this time after the war, Yudhishthir will have a lot of ego and attitude that I have won the war. Now I am the Chakravartin of the world. So I can control as much as the world I can do. But then Sri Krishna watching all this, he will think that I should teach Yudhishthira a lesson. So let me plan it. So once Ashwamedha Yaga starts and they will be leaving the Ashwamedha Ashwa, and all the Pandavas will be going along with the Ashwa, taking it for the Yagam. And then once they reach this Manipur kingdom. Okay, the Manipura kingdom was the name of the Mayurudvaja's kingdom. So Mayurudvaja, basically, the king, he was already a devotee of Krishna. And Krishna wanted to teach a lesson to Yudhishthir through Mayurudvaja, the king. Now, once the Ashwamedha, okay, Ashwa or Yaga Ashwa has reached the Manipura kingdom, so Mayurudvaja do not wanted to accept the suzerainty of Yudhishthir. He wanted to fight. Why? Because it is not the quality, the gun of a Kshatriya to just give up like that. He wanted to fight and then he wanted to lose or but he wanted to try it. So when Mayuradhvaja gets hold of the Ashwa, so he has to fight with Pandavas. He had a great son also whose name was Tamradhvaja. So Mayuradhvaja and Tamradhvaja, they fight and defeat all the Pandavas and they will get hold of everybody. Now the news reaches Yudhishthir and everybody is defeated. Now what to do? The Yudhishthir will say, I will go. The Krishna says, yes, we will go, but we will do one thing. We will just change our attire. We will disguise ourselves and we will reach and we will just talk to Mayuradhvaja. So Krishna and Yudhishthir, they will come in disguise to Mayuradhvaja. As soon as Mayuradhvaja sees them as Brahmanas, he wanted to do upacharas, like Shodhapacharas, like we do, 16 upacharas. But then the Brahmana says, like before doing the upacharas, we have a problem. While we were coming to your kingdom, we had to go through a forest, and in the forest, one of our kid is caught by a lion. So we want to get our kid free from the lion, but the condition is we have to offer the meat equal to the boy, and then only we can get. Then the Mayuradhvaja said, what can I do? I'll give you the meat. The Krishna says, it has to be only your meat. The Mayuradhvaja accepts and says, okay, fine, I'll give my meat. The Krishna says, again, another condition. You has to be cut into two pieces only by your wife and children. Mayuradhvaja says, yes, why not? So the wife and children, they cut Mayuradhvaja into two pieces and they will try to give the meat to the Krishna. Now, Yudhishthir notices something like Mayurudhvaja's the left part that is left. The tears. There will be tears in the eyes of the left part. Yudhishthir says, "You are not happy giving the donation. We will not accept this because it has to be given with a lot of heart's content." Mayurudhvaja says, it's not that I am sad for giving my body. It is that you have taken half part and you will give it to the lion and you will save the boy. But what about my rest half? It is useless. It is of not any use. So Yudhishthir gets stunned by the answer. See, he is not worried about his death, but he is worried about the rest of half of his body of which is going of no use. And then Yudhishthir understands the trick or the message that Krishna wanted to give. And here at this point, Yudhishthir loses all his ego, attitude, and he will become very humble. And Krishna turns toward Mayurudhvaja and he says, Mayurudhvaja, you have done a great act. And from now onwards, whichever God is worshipped, they will first worship to you and then to the God. In the sense, Mayurudhvaja, in the name of you, there will be always a pillar in the temple and they will come to you. Like Yudhishthir has forgone his ego and attitude, the same way when people come to you at your place, they will remember you and they will forget all their ego attitude and they will come or they will get into the temple for worshipping the god, then only their prayers are answered. So Mayura Dhvaja has become the Dhvaja Sthamba in the temple, and Dhvaja Sthamba is a place where we have to keep all our ego aside and get into the temple. So this is a beautiful story from Ashwamedha Parva of Mahabharata.
Wow,
This is so
absolutely beautiful. I never knew. I never knew. I don't think we knew
Yeah.
this. It's amazing story. Amazing. Yeah.
It's so beautiful story and simply whenever we get into the temple or get to the temple, because Mayura, the beauty is our ancestors, they wanted us to idolize the great kings like Mayura Dvaja, and they have added an element to the temple in the name of Mayura Dvaja. So whenever you look at that Dhvaja Sthamba, we have to remember the greatness of Mayura Dvaja and behave like Mayura Dvaja.
Yeah.
So directly or indirectly, this is like bringing a kind of what do you say, a culture, a tradition, or a right dharma. Instead of all these words, we can use bringing dharma into the society. They have done all this.